Okay, so we have this is a 2015 BMW M3, 85,000 miles on this thing. So this is not a new car, and it has some imperfections. You know, the roof had to be redone. It was peeling, and but then the rear spoiler's peeling. Yeah, so it's got problems. It's an older car. It's had some abuse. So, but you can't tell it from a distance when you put MAXL products on the car. It kind of is cheating. So we're gonna do this car. It's got water spots right now. It got caught in a sprinkler again. I think we did a video not too long ago, and the damn thing got, a water sprinkler system hit it. So, and that's hard water, that's bad. So it's got that on it. So we're gonna use MAXRemove and burn all that off. So we're gonna get started with this thing, and we're gonna start with the wheels and tires first. MAXRemove, we're going to use full concentrate. You can dilute this, but we didn't. We're just going to use full concentrate. So. You can hit the tire too with this stuff. What you'll notice is the tire will turn brown because it's pulling out a lot of stuff out of the tire. It only needs 2 minutes. Longer is not better. 2 minutes, and then that'll strip off all that layer of crud. And if it's like really thick, you may have to hit it a second time, but most likely not. MAXRemove is tough, so it's strong. So we'll let this soak. Make sure I just hit everything. Also, don't do full trigger pulls like that. Do these little half ones, like little, see how I'm barely pulling it? That's why you conserve product. You can see how it's turning. These suds are starting to, see, we barely used any. So after about a minute, you can start scrubbing this thing. One thing with wheels, and if you're using these brushes, you can get these brushes cheap anywhere. But if you're using these things, make sure that you don't flick this in your eye, because these bristles flick and it'll burn. You don't want to get any kind of chemicals in your eye of any kind whatsoever, including soap. I'll push it up in those lug nuts. And you want to use brushes that have these plastic or this resin type material, because it won't scratch. You don't want to use metal, anything metal. Get around that valve stem. Okay. Just mainly getting the face of it, make sure it's all dislodging. Okay. The tire, you don't have to scrub with this. I do that with the MAXWash. These are the ones that flick really bad, so you want to watch your eyes. Like that right there, when you pull it out, it's when it starts flicking back on you. Get behind these things. These will come with a rubber tip, make sure that's on there. All right, so that's good, and we'll rinse it. And that's pretty much it. We're gonna hit it with soap, but that got all the brake dust and all the hard stuff. Okay, we're gonna put this in a foam cannon, 1 to 4. So we mix some water with it. You can tell it's not as dark. So let's hit it with that. Cool thing about MAXRemove, it won't hurt your clothes. Where other wheel cleaners, they're very dangerous. This stuff's not. Always hit the bugs on the front, the hood, and the windshield first so it can go ahead and get that cake in the oven, because it's going to take some time. You see all this sand, it's gritty. I'll rinse it now. Those flared out fenders get hammered. All right, so abrasives are off. This is the new MAXWash 2.0, and you can notice it's thicker. It's a lot thicker. So what you want to do is dilute this in a MAXL dilution bottle, okay? Now this thing has markings on it. Always, always, always put water in first, because if you put this in first, these measurements won't work, because this is 4 parts water to 1 part product, right? 2 parts water, 1 part product. That's what these measurements are. So you do water first and then the product, and you fill the product up to this line, this black line. It's not an exact science, so this just kind of keeps you, you know, where you aren't using crazy amounts. It doesn't have to be exact. One reason too you want to do water first is if you did put this in first, you would never get the water in it because it would foam up so bad, you would never be able to get the water in it. So let's do water first. Okay. Okay, I put a little too much, no big deal. Pour out a little water. It's foaming a little bit because I did have the old MAXWash in here, so I poured it out so we could demo this. So, okay. It's not rocket science, close enough. All right, now we're gonna open this. It's a brand new bottle, it's still sealed. We'll just pour this in until you get to the line, and that's close enough, good enough. Good enough for government work. So, put put the high flow trigger. These triggers are awesome for this because they do high output. These come with the dilution bottle. And then you just want to, don't shake it, just, you know, tilt it around, maybe swirl it. Don't shake it because it'll just foam up if you do that. But it mixes really easy with the water. Okay, now we're ready to go. So we're gonna get a sponge. This is the Yellowcell sponge I've been using for a couple of years. It's still, if you take care of these, they'll last. So I just get it wet. Okay, now you can use this a couple of ways. One way that's super easy is you can just, let me get the sprayer going. You can just soap up your sponge because we hit this with MAXRemove. So since it's got MAXRemove on it, you can just spray the soap on it and just sponge wipe it. Super easy. And this Yellowcell sponge prevents swirl marks and scratches, especially since all the abrasives are off the car now. And get down here. Okay. The MAXRemove practically almost touchlessly cleaned the car. So let's just make sure I didn't miss anything. And that's it. And then the wheels, I would just use a black microfiber. We'll do those with, I don't think I have one out here. I wouldn't use a sponge on the wheels. Now you can also use this in a bucket wash, but what we're gonna do, I just take a microfiber. Because whatever you use on the wheels, you never wanna use on the paint, right? You never wanna cross, because you never know what's on those wheels. So if you have a bucket wash, you could use that. Okay. And what I'll do is take this microfiber and just spray this wheel with mainly the face of it, because MAXRemove already cleaned a lot of that. Then I just wipe it. Just in case there's anything you want to, still on there you want to get off. Now this caliper, if you want to get fancy pants, you can get a little brush, one of these cheapos you can get off Amazon, and just brush that thing. If you have pretty calipers. If you don't have pretty calipers, you don't have to worry about it. Now this car's had MAXEasy on it, so these are a heck of a lot easier to keep clean. And then you can get these lug nuts. Okay, and that's it on that. And then if you clean the tires, you can do a tire brush to really deep clean these tires, because tires get a lot of crap in them. We don't have these hiked up, so normally you would roll it forward to get the, especially on these low profiles. Okay. All right, and then you can rinse it. Cleaned it pretty good first go. So the suds aren't brown anymore, so you know it's pretty clean. Okay. Okay, so that's one way you can use this, by spraying and sponging. But if you have a foam cannon, you can use it in that. I already have a little bit in here, but the problem is the foam cannon won't reach all the way. You could just attach your foam cannon to this bottle if you wanted to. Here, let me show you. So it could attach to the bottle, right? It only screws a couple of times. You don't have to fully seat it. Okay, so you could just go around the car with this foam canning. But if you don't, you know, if you have a foam cannon, you might as well use the container it comes with. So what we're gonna do is pour this in here. And this is 1 to 4. Whoop, spilling it everywhere. Okay, starting to foam, so that should be plenty for the whole car. Okay, and then we are good to go. Just set that all the way to plus. Make sure it's set to the pattern you want, and you're good to go. We'll hook it to the foam cannon. Now we're ready. All right, MAXEasy 2.1, this is the new stuff, and it's awesome. So remember, don't do full trigger sprays, just do half ones or little ones, like 1 or 2 sprays a panel. Less is more, you can always go back and hit it again. That's the #1 problem, it's so easy, people use too much. Just use very little, so I'll show you. So we just got through washing. While the car's still wet, you wanna use MAXEasy. Because MAXEasy is just like the name implies, it is super easy. You can go around the entire car, a couple of fenders at a time, 1 or 2 sprays, because it goes a long way, don't use too much. Rinse it thoroughly, and after you've rinsed the entire car going around with this, takes maybe 60 seconds, the car will be coated, and I mean everything coated. You can just spray up in here. Spray the back of that, we'll rinse it and you're done. See, space it apart. The wheel. If you feel like you missed the spot, you just grab MAXEasy, hit the areas you think you didn't hit enough, and let it sit. Yeah, you'll see it sudsing, so you'll rinse till it's no longer doing that. Okay, so that's all we used for the whole car, just a little bit, about 2 ounces a car. This bottle is 20 ounces total, so you can do 10 cars with this that are average size 4-door sedan like this. So MAXEasy 2.1, it works. All right, now we just dry it. The Softsorb drying towel. This is the best drying towel in the world. So the Softsorb towel is designed to dry extremely fast, but be soft where it will not mar or create swirl marks over time or any of that. So one Softsorb towel can dry an entire car without scratching because it's so soft. It absorbs water immediately on contact, makes it super fast and easy to dry a car. One thing about the towel is if you miss some areas, you can smooth them out. If you see anything, you can just smooth it out. This towel won't scratch, it's soft. Plus it feels good to feel how smooth it is. MAXEasy and MAXL ONE both contain a new coating technology called Tri-Fine. Now all coatings have a cure time, and for Tri-Fine that's about 24 to 48 hours. Now Tri-Fine can get wet almost immediately, but its maximum performance, you know, where you get the really tight beads that slide right off, that occurs after about 24 hours of cure time. On the windshield, you'll notice that you'll use your windshield wipers a lot less because the water zips right off as you drive. Like once you get over 30, 40 miles an hour, the water zips right off the windshield. See how that water beads up on everything, including the tire and wheel? Those water beads, they'll slide right off, especially when the car's moving, and they carry dirt and debris with them. So that's called self-cleaning. Now after 24 hours, that hydrophobicity of Tri-Fine is exceptional, and it's exceptional on every surface, even on glass, which is unheard of. It's near impossible to get a coating to perform well on both glass and paint and last and be durable. Tri-Fine's the only thing that's been able to truly do that. And Tri-Fine's also the only thing that works on all other surfaces, so it'll do the same on rubber, vinyl, plastic, metal. It'll do carbon fiber. It works on leather, and it even works on fabric. So like convertible tops or even interior fabric. MAXL ONE and MAXEasy with Tri-Fine both work on that. Now dirt will eventually accumulate over time on any surface, but you'll notice a lot less of it, and it'll be much easier to remove once it's coated with Tri-Fine. MAXL ONE, this is a new cleaner coating. So this product can either be used as a standalone coating, so like if you've washed your car and you've dried it and you just want to coat it and protect it and have it be slick and super glossy with deep rich color, MAXL ONE is your go-to. So MAXL ONE has this coating called Tri-Fine. This is a new technology called Tri-Fine. And this stuff is very tough, and it also is extremely hydrophobic. So it works on every surface. You can even use this on your tires and your wheels. Now it won't make tires shine, but it'll make them look like new rubber. So it'll look like a rich rubber around the tire. Now it's called One for a reason. It's called One because it's one product for everything. So you can use this to keep your entire car clean, looking brand new, 100% of all surfaces, including glass as well. Indefinitely if you use it, you know, consistently. Let me demo this because this car we're about to show you was washed about 2 months ago or so with the MAXL Method system that we just went through. And on the final rinse of that, we used MAXEasy because it has Tri-Fine as well as a coating. And it makes it super easy to coat the whole car. Well, now that the car's coated, it's a lot easier to clean off. So now what we're gonna demonstrate is how you can use MAXL ONE as a cleaner coating or a waterless wash or dry wash, whatever you want to call it. And it's where you simply just spray and wipe and clean the entire car without having to wash, no buckets, no hoses, a lot less effort. Now, if your car is super dirty, like muddy, and it has a lot of big dirt particles on it you think would scratch, you know, if you wiped it, they're just obvious, you would want to wash the car first. But if it's pollen, like dust, stuff like that, you can use MAXL ONE to clean the car every week if you wanted to, as often as you want to, and it'll build upon itself, and it'll not only clean and leave a really slick, rich, glossy surface, but it will also make it where it has a robust coating that lasts months, if not, it could last up to a year depending on how much abuse the car is going through. So MAXL ONE is super easy to use. You simply just spray and wipe, and it doesn't take much. Another thing about this product okay, is if you want, we have a dilution bottle, or if you have dilution bottles, that's just an empty bottle with measurements on it. You can mix this with distilled water or DI water, deionized water, it's called DI water. Mix it 50-50 and get twice as much out of this bottle. And the reason you would do that is if you're wanting to use it like very, very frequently and you don't want to use just too much product, you can do that. And also you could do it that way to make it just a little easier and faster to wipe, right? Because MAXL One's very robust, so when you spray it on and wipe it, you take a second towel to make it pretty. The make it pretty part is a heck of a lot easier when it's diluted 50%. Now people ask, all right, does that hurt anything by diluting it? What am I losing by diluting it? Well, if you dilute it, the only thing you're gonna lose a little bit of is durability. You lose about 30-40%-ish durability. But if you're reapplying it and using it all the time, durability doesn't matter. Okay, so what we'll do is you just spray. I'm just gonna do part of this. You can see all the pollen on here. See that? It's just nasty pollen. So what you do is you spray. Now that was 2 sprays. I just barely misted like half a trigger pull. And then I put a little bit on the towel and then you just wipe it. And it picks all that up. And then you see all that pollen that came off. And then you flip to the dry side to just polish it pretty. And you don't want to use too much product because then you're having to wipe more because you got excess on the surface. So it makes it real smooth, so you can see how slick it is, you know. And that's pretty much it. Got a rock chip there. And if there's little spots that it didn't quite get, you can just put a little tad on it and let them sit for a few seconds to kind of work in. And you don't need pressure, like don't press hard. You're not trying to muscle it off. You're just going back and forth, just with the weight of your hand. You don't need much pressure. Let the product do the work and the towel do the work. And then you just polish it pretty. Super easy. So you can go around this whole car in about 15 minutes maybe, and clean the whole thing and wipe it down. And the next day, the color and shine gets even better once it fully cures over 24 hours, and it'll look amazing the next day. It'll look great right after you do it, but it'll look even better the next day. This will work on any surface. Carbon fiber, paint, glass, it'll even work on plastic and rubber. See all the pollen that came off? Then you can take a second towel that's super dry, clean, and just polish it to perfection where it just looks pretty. And you can feel how smooth and slick the surface is under it. And what's cool, it's not too slick, you know what I mean? It's not like oily, greasy slick. It's just a really smooth, slick, coated surface. Make sure I got all this nook and cranny. See all the dirt.
there.
Yeah, and this is carbon fiber, plastic, and then this is some bird poo here. Look at all that. That took it right off. So we can do the carbon fiber, plastic, paint, rubber. That's a rock chip. Also in the MAXL Method Complete System, you get the interior detailer from MAXL. This stuff is incredible because it has never dust in it. Now what that does is it repels dust and it prevents surfaces from accumulating dust. Now you'll get some dust always, dust gets on everything, but you'll notice a lot less dust when using the interior detailer. This stuff will also condition leather and recondition plastics and rubbers as well. MAXL Interior Detailer leaves a silky smooth finish that is not greasy. It's safe to use on practically all surfaces. And MAXL Interior Detailer also makes it easy to remove stubborn buildup without scratching surfaces. You just use a clean, dry, soft microfiber towel and you're good to go. It will prevent that buildup from happening again and it will keep surfaces looking new. So that's the whole MAXL Method Complete System. You start with MAXRemove, which has acidless acid technology. This stuff is awesome. Remember to dilute it in a dilution bottle. And you would go around the whole car and this burns off all the abrasives, water spots, contamination, you name it. This stuff's awesome. The best pre-wash in the world right here. Then you would use MAXWash, and this is the new MAXWash 2.0. This stuff is awesome. It is super sudsy. You can use it in a bucket wash. You can use it in a foam cannon. It's incredible in the foam cannon. You can also put it in a dilution bottle and go around the car spraying it that way and wash it as well. When washing, make sure you use the Yellowcell sponge. You can even use it along with the diluted MAXWash together. It makes it really easy to clean the car. This is the softest wash media in the world. It is non-abrasive and it will not create swirl marks and scratches like all the other wash media does, especially the microfiber wash mitts. Those are pretty nasty. Then after you rinse MAXWash off, while the car's still wet, you want to use MAXEasy. Because MAXEasy is just like the name implies, it is super easy. You can go around the entire car, a couple of fenders at a time, 1 or 2 sprays, because it goes a long way, don't use too much. Rinse it thoroughly, and after you've rinsed the entire car going around with this, takes maybe 60 seconds, the car will be coated, and I mean everything coated. Then rinse the car thoroughly, and then dry the car using the MAXL Softsorb drying towel. This is the best drying towel you can find. It is the best. It absorbs water instantly on contact and it is soft, like the name implies, Softsorb, and it absorbs water instantly on contact. Makes it real easy to dry a car and dry it fast. Also in the MAXL Method Complete System, you get the interior detailer from MAXL. This stuff is incredible because it has never dust in it. Now what that does is it repels dust and it prevents surfaces from accumulating dust. Now you'll get some dust always, dust gets on everything, but you'll notice a lot less dust when using the interior detailer. This stuff will also condition leather and recondition plastics and rubbers as well. Now going forward, when the car starts to get dirty again, you can use MAXL ONE. It stands for one product for everything. So that whole system is kind of in one bottle unless the car gets too dirty. Like if it gets muddy or really filthy, you need to wash it and do the MAXL Method system again. But if you stay on top of it with one and use this frequently, you'll never have to wash the car again. And it is safe to use and it'll make the car look brand new. And I'm talking deep gloss and shine, rich color, and it'll just pop.